The National Collegiate Athletic Association, NCAA, is a nonprofit organization that regulates student athletics among about 1,100 schools in the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. 3. It also organizes the athletic programs of colleges and universities in the United States and Canada and helps over 500,000 college student athletes who compete annually in college sports. 3. The organization is headquartered in Indianapolis, Indiana. Until 1957, the NCAA was a single division for all schools. That year, the NCAA split into the University Division and the College Division. In August 1973, the current three-division system of Division I, Division II, and Division III was adopted by the NCAA membership in a special convention. Under NCAA rules, Division I and Division II schools can offer scholarships to athletes for playing a sport. Division III schools may not offer any athletic scholarships. Generally, larger schools compete in Division I and smaller schools in II and III. Division I football was further divided into IA and 1AA in 1978, while Division I programs that did not have football teams were known as IAAA. In 2006, Divisions IA and 1AA were respectively renamed the Football Bowl Subdivision, FBS, and Football Championship Subdivision, FCS. In its 2016-17 fiscal year, the NCAA took in $1.06 billion in revenue, over 82% of which was generated by the Division I men's basketball tournament. Controversially, the NCAA formally capped the benefits that collegiate athletes could receive from their schools. The consensus among economists is these caps for men's basketball and football players benefit the athlete schools through rent-seeking, at the expense of the athletes. 5, 6, 7. Economists have subsequently characterized the NCAA as a cartel. 8, 9, 10. On June 21, 2021, the Supreme Court of the United States unanimously ruled that the education-related benefit caps the NCAA imposes on student athletes are in violation of U.S. antitrust law. Intercollegiate sports began in the United States in 1852 when crews from Harvard and Yale universities met in a challenge race in the sport of rowing. 12. As rowing remained the preeminent sport in the country into the late 1800s, many of the initial debates about collegiate athletic eligibility and purpose were settled through organizations like the Rowing Association of American Colleges and the Intercollegiate Rowing Association. As other sports emerged, notably football and basketball, many of these same concepts and standards were adopted. Football, in particular, began to emerge as a marquee sport, but the rules of the game itself were in constant flux and often had to be adapted for each contest. The NCAA dates its formation to two White House conferences convened by President Theodore Roosevelt in the early 20th century in response to repeated injuries and deaths in college football, which had prompted many colleges and universities to discontinue the sport. 1. Following those White House meetings and the reforms which had resulted, Chancellor Henry McCracken of New York University organized a meeting of 13 colleges and universities to initiate changes in football playing rules. At a follow-on meeting on December 28, 1905, in New York, 62 higher education institutions became charter members of the Intercollegiate Athletic Association of the United States, IAAUS. 1. The IAAUS was officially established on March 31, 1906, and took its present name. The NCAA, in 1910, 1. For several years, the NCAA was a discussion group and rules-making body, but in 1921, the first NCAA national championship was conducted, the National Collegiate Track and Field Championships. Gradually, more rules committees were formed and more championships were created, including a basketball championship in 1939.